Good evening, Gills fans. Welcome back to Gills in the Blood TV. It is Thursday evening, which usually means weekly roundup plus match preview. But this video is going to be slightly shorter than normal. This is just going to be a preview looking ahead to Saturday's game against Wimbledon at the Priestfield Stadium. But this hopefully will be video 1 of 2 across this evening / tomorrow morning. Myself and Stocky are going over to the question and answer session with the chairman, the manager and the assistant manager later on this evening. So fingers crossed, time permitting, we'll be able to get a reaction video out after that is finished. So keep an eye out on all social media platforms for that, especially the YouTube channel. Get subscribing if you haven't and hit that notification bell. But Saturday, we have another big game in Sky Bet League One. The last team to beat us in the league, in fact, and that is this lot who are heading to Kent. AFC Wimbledon went to the away game back end of November. Feisty encounter. Ben Pringle was sent off at the end for saying something to the referee, who had the most horrible of performances you'll ever have the misfortune to see if you went. We lost 1-0 despite bossing the game. We missed loads of chances. But yeah, coming into this fixture, completely different form. Ours and theirs, different ends of the spectrum. Last 6 in League One, Gills have won 4 and drawn 2, taking 14 points from 18 available. The Dons doesn't make for pretty reading. 3 draws, 3 losses, no wins, 3 points from 18 available. Gills at home, last 6. It's an identical record to that last 6 overall. That is a pair of draws and 4 wins. Again, giving us 14 points, from 18 available. The Wombles on the road, lost 1, lost, drawn, lost. So 4 points from 18, a solitary win, 4 defeats. Had a look at their games in a little bit more detail today, researching this match preview. They've only won once in 11 league games. They've kept no clean sheets on the road all season. So, make of that what you will. Normally, if this was a couple of years ago, you'd say that they'd come along and win 1-0 like they did last season. But I think this Gillingham team's a lot different to that of the last 2 or 3 years. In terms of us, we've only conceded 7 in 10 games in League One in 2020. And in both of our last 2 home games, we've scored twice, seeing off Shrewsbury by 2-0 and Doncaster most recently by 2 goals to 1, even though technically we didn't score in that game. But yeah, 4 in our last 2, 6 points from 6 available. Heading into the fixture in really good form, confidence high. But I'm not sure we've ever beaten Wimbledon at home. I mean, obviously we've not played loads since their reincarnation. But that has to end sometime, doesn't it, surely? Looking at them in more detail, Marcus Force was on loan from Brentford first half of the season. Unfortunately, ripped a hamstring. He had 11 goals before he had to go back to his parent club mid-January. Joe Piggott, ex-Gills, will probably lead the line in his absence. He has 6 goals in 33 games in League One this season. By no means nowhere near prolific as he was last time around. His goals played a huge part in keeping them in this division. Obviously more familiar faces in Callum Riley, Luke O'Neill, Scott Wagstaff could all feature. Waggy scored the winner in the reverse fixture back in November. And one name that stood out for me was Joe Day. He came in January, very good keeper for Newport in League Two. Got his big money move, but has now gone on loan to Glenodge's men. Hopefully he has plenty to do and hopefully doesn't have a really good game. Again, back to us, we've benefited from a full week. Obviously, the last 2 midweeks we've had games, winning at Blackpool and then winning at Southend, but I'm sure everyone will benefit from having a full 7 days to recover. Anyone with niggles has hopefully got them sorted out, and I believe Steve Evans said in his pre-match press conference this morning that everyone, aside from Mark Byrne, is fit and available. So plenty of choices, which brings us on to team selection. And in terms of that, back 5 picks itself for me. So that'll be Jack Bonham, and then from right to left, Barry Fuller, Max Amar, Jack Tucker and Connor Ogilvie. Alfie Jones keeps his spot at the base of the diamond for me. Stuart O'Keefe from the right. I'd make a change from the left. As good as Thomas O'Connor's been, I'd like to see us be more positive at home. So I'm going to go Ben Pringle. Thought he's been harshly left out the last couple, having been in good form before that. Ollie Lee stays in the number 10 role for me. There is a tweet coming out either tonight or tomorrow morning regarding Ollie Lee and his form and some statistics from this season for us. Makes for decent reading. My front two would be John Akindi and Brandon Hanlon. I think Big John will benefit from having a week on the bench last week. Probably will get back into the team and have a point to prove. Yeah, and he's been decent in the 2 home games on the whole. Against Donny, stuff he tried didn't quite come off, but he worked hard, he ran the channels, he posed a threat and he occupied their centre halves. And against Shrewsbury, he was pretty much unplayable. You remember if he earned the penalty for the goal that put us 2-0 up, Ollie Lee converted that and was unlucky a couple of occasions to not open his account at home. He has 1 goal so far. That was on the road at Blackpool in that 3-2 victory. It'd be nice if he can get up and running at the Priestfield sooner rather than later. My bench would be Joe Walsh, Thomas O'Connor, Matty Willock, Regan Charles Cook, Jordan Graham, Jordan Roberts and Big Mika Mandron. So yeah, like I say, slightly shorter video tonight, but hopefully there'll be something else coming out later this evening, if not tomorrow morning, with myself and Stocky and whoever else fancies coming on and having a chat. In terms of a prediction for Saturday's game, looking at the relative form of the 2 sides, almost trying to ignore the fact that we potentially haven't beaten them at home in the league. I just think that we should have too much from as long as we do all our jobs properly. If we remain resilient and solid defensively, if we work hard in the middle of the park, and if we get the ball into the right areas to the right types of players, the likes of Ollie Lee, Big John Akindi, Brandon Hanlon with his pace, and then you have options from the bench if you need to change it. Jordan Roberts technically good. Jordan Graham could come on, offer width. Big Mika could offer a different option. Regan Charles Cook, Matty Willett, plenty of really good attacking threats from the bench. And yeah, like I say, if we do everything right, looking at the comparative form of the 2 sides, we probably owe them 1 slightly after they got away with that 1-0 victory back in November. I'm going to go for a final score of Gillingham 2, Wimbledon 0, and I'm going to go for goal scorers John Akindi and the captain, Max Amar. Right, that is enough from me. What is the time? It is 5 to 6. I still need to have a shower and try and get something to eat and then get back on the road over to the Priestfield to join in with this question and answer session, which I'm looking forward to. You know where we are: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Like I say, go and subscribe if you haven't. Tell friends that follow Gills to subscribe if they haven't. Enjoy your Thursday evening. Hopefully we'll say hello if we see you at the Q&A session in about an hour and a half. If not, we'll be back Saturday. Myself, Boz and Stocky, I believe all 3 of us are attending for a match day live. But until next time, up the Gills.